Hi everyone, it's Karen. I'm so glad we're back here to create another tag today. Here I'm using 2 colours of Distress Oxide inks, Festive Berries, Mowed Lawn. I'm using a blending tool. I actually am using the blending brushes today, but this tool would work just as well. The back plate stencil and some stamps from this set from Sweet Poppy Stencils. This is called the Noel set. We're going to use the Noel, and this cute little sentiment which says, "From our house to yours." So we'll get started. The first thing I've got is my magnetic sheet with my back plate stencil from Sweet Poppy Stencils, and I am going to start with Mowed Lawn, which is my green, and I'm just going to ink up my brush here, tap a bit off onto the side so that I don't, and I'm just going to brush it through the stencil. This is a very fine stencil. As I say, it's called the Plaid Backplate from Sweet Poppy, and it just lends itself so beautifully to this, to any nature of Christmas backgrounds. If you joined me yesterday, you will know the tag size that I'm using is 6.5 centimetres across by 12.5 centimetres down. So as I'm bringing this ink just gently and lightly through this stencil, I'm stopping around 3/4 of the way down. I'm going to use a different brush for my Festive Berries. So if you saw, I was putting that ink sort of towards the middle, and now I'm going to bring this red along the edge. Beautiful fine stencil, so you get that detail of the crisscross there. That is my ink pad squeaking. Don't want that. There we go. You don't want too much of the red going onto the green. It's fine if you're doing it lightly, but if you do it too heavily, you will make mud. We don't need mud at Christmas. There we go. Beautiful. Now I brought that a little lower than I did on the original, but hey, it's fine. It's just, so long as it's just gently fading, it will look pretty cool. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to stamp this sentiment first at the bottom, because that will enable me to position where I actually want my Noel to be. So I'm going to use VersaFine Clear Nocturne. And this is my little stamp mat. I cut it down from, I had an A3 size and it's just too unwieldy. So I cut it down and I've put it in this cellophane bag because that protects it. So I'm just going to stamp this in the corner to the edge. Nice, oops, nice and crystal clear. Just cleaning that off so that doesn't distract. And then I'm going to get my Versamark clear embossing pad with my Noel stamp on it. And I'm just lightly tapping to put the ink on. And I'm just going to angle this. Using Wow embossing powder, I'm using the gold. There we go, beautiful. One thing I didn't do was use my anti-static pad today. Wow, okay. But lucky for us, it worked all right. So now I'm just going to heat set that with a heat gun and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so now we've embossed it and I'm just going to cut a little hole. I'm going to use my big bite. If you haven't, I'm sure you've got hole punch or something similar. Just create a punch in the top of it. I've got a piece of gold card foil, and fortunately I have these two little punches, years and years old these are, but they create this little tag holder, or what do they call them, reinforcement, beautifully. So what I do is I use the tiniest one and I just punch a hole in it. And then I use this one, which I think is a 1/2 inch round. And I center it and create my little reinforcement, which I'm going to glue on the back. And glue there. This one actually, I didn't do it too well in the center, but you know what, if we turn that around, you get the, there you go, you get sort of that large bit hanging down, so it looks a bit like a bulbous shape. So that will work pretty well too. And the last thing we're going to do is a ribbon. This ribbon is about 20 centimeters long. I'm just going to check it for you, not inches. No, actually I cut them a bit longer. I cut it 25 centimeters, and I just cut them at an angle. I always keep a pair of scissors, specially for ribbons, and I don't mix it with paper because the paper blunts it very quickly. So I've got paper scissors and ribbon scissors. And then I folded it over, and I'm just going to post these corner pieces through there. And so I folded the ribbon in half, posted it through the hole, and then using the loop, I'm just going to bring it through like that. So you see, the ribbon ties this way. If you turn it over, the ribbon will look different. And on some of the other tags, that's what we're going to do. So you just manipulate it. This is sheer ribbon and just some I had in my stash. You'll be delighted to know. So there we go, day 2, a really simple tag. I'd love to see what you create with a bit of stenciling in the background, some embossing and a simple sentiment. Thank you. Please post your makes in the group. We'd love to all share the fun. See you tomorrow. Bye.